Good morning, everyone. My name is Cory Izokaitis, and I'm head of the upper school. It is my distinct privilege to welcome you to the 2025 Upper School Honors Assembly. It's wonderful to have you all together this morning to share this milestone with our seniors and to honor the efforts and accomplishments of the students here before us. Today, we acknowledge through awards a commitment to excellence in student leadership, academic and athletic achievement, artistic endeavors, and citizenship and service to others. I'd also like to take this time to give a timely shout out to our athletic teams that are still in play. The boys tennis team headed to states, our boys baseball, girls lacrosse, and boys and girls track and field are still advancing in their postseason play. So good luck to all our Vikings in your upcoming competitions. Now to the senior class. This class holds a special place in my heart, not only because of who you are now, but because I've had the privilege of knowing many of you since you were kindergartners. Watching you grow up has been a rare gift. Back in August at our senior retreat, something special happened. Whether it was a conscious choice or something unspoken, you decided individually and collectively to be all in for your senior year. And from that moment on, you followed through with heart and purpose. Your energy, effort, shared leadership did not go unnoticed. The impact you made reached well beyond your own class. It helped set a tone for the entire upper school. From that first retreat before school officially began, to senior sunrise at the baseball field, to not one, but two student-led potluck dinners, including a Thanksgiving feast that may stand among the giants of potlucks. You consistently showed up for each other, and somewhere between those moments, we had the rare and special treat of being with what may be the first senior class to go sledding and make snow angels at 3 a.m. on a clear January night near Hondros Field. Do you remember? Please don't lose that inner child. Melanie's video blog captured your story beautifully. The highlight reel of a senior year that was at times hard, but also joyful and meaningful. And then, just as it began, the year came full circle, with your spontaneous senior circle at senior sunset, and then at final bell, a fitting close to an amazing journey. You've shown us what's possible when a group comes together with enthusiasm and care for one another. And you've left a lasting imprint that will inspire future classes for years to come. We're proud of you, class of 2025. And we send you off with full hearts, knowing you're going to do great things. And with that, I'd like to introduce our Cum Laude speaker for this morning. Dr. Pascal Losambe serves as the Director of Diversity and Community Life at Columbus Academy. With over 14 years of experience in teaching and school leadership, he is dedicated to fostering belonging and student growth. A published author and national speaker, Dr. Losambe holds a PhD in educational leadership from Purdue University and was recently honored with the Mahogany Columbus Outstanding Educator Award. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Losambe.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Izokaitis. Thank you to the admin team and the leadership team for trusting me with this platform. I don't hold it lightly. To the seniors, I just want to reiterate what Mrs. Izokaitis said. Thank you for modeling community. Thank you for the grace that you have shown. Thank you so much for pushing us to be better. And I'm so excited at what this next level has for you. As I was getting ready this morning, the vision of Mufasa came to my mind. Here's the mandatory African reference of the lion. And there's one scene in Lion King where there's like a footprint, and then Simba, his son, stands on the footprint. And I see that with you. You've left big footprints, and I hope the juniors who are watching your model, who will step into those footprints and lead the school with so much grace like you have done as well. I hope this message that I'm going to give you today will encourage you. I hope it will instill a level of hope in you, and I hope that you will take something away. Every other Sunday, a group of friends and I gather. And we gather to talk about life, we gather to talk about parenthood, we gather to talk about our professional lives, and we gather often to talk about a text that we read. On a particular Sunday, the text that we read said, "Find joy when you go through trials of many kinds." Now, to be honest with you, when I read and heard the text, I had a little bit of a struggle, because oftentimes joy and trial don't often go together. I mean, I could understand it if the text said, "Find resilience when you go through trials of many kinds." I could even understand it if it said, "Find strength when you go through trials of many kinds." I could understand it if it said, "Find courage when you go through trials of many kinds." But family, the text didn't say that. The text said, "Find joy when you go through trials of many kinds." Find joy when you fail the test after preparing so long and hard for it. Find joy when you miss the shot and your whole team is depending on you to make that shot. Find joy when you forget the line and you mess up the play and the other scenes are now messed up because you forgot the line. Find joy when you mess up the artwork and have to throw it out after spending so long preparing. Find joy when your friends are hanging out without you and there's proof on social media that they didn't invite you to the gathering and you feel some kind of way about it. Find joy when you go through trials of many kinds. Now, even though the examples that I've kind of put out there might resonate with you, as I started to think of this notion of joy and of trial, my mind started to wander. And it started to wander towards one of my childhood heroes, Nelson Mandela. You know, Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison. 27 years away from his family, 27 years away from his wife, 27 years away from his children. During that time, in the Republic of South Africa, there was a system called apartheid that discriminated against people based on their race and based on their ethnicity. So Mandela rose up as a person that was the hero of the resistance. He was trained under Gandhi on peaceful protest. And when he found that the peaceful protest wasn't gaining ground, he said that by any means necessary, even if it means taking up arms, we need to make ground. And so he co-founded and joined the armed militant group Umkhonto we Sizwe. And because of the violent acts that were performed by Umkhonto we Sizwe, he was labeled a traitor and he was accused of treason. But as a young boy sitting in the early 90s watching TV, as he was released from prison after F.W. de Klerk rendered apartheid illegal, and as he raised his fist in the air with the resounding crowd singing Amandla Awetu, I felt joy sitting there watching this liberation. I continue to feel joy when I watch Mandela's liberation as well. So maybe the text should have said, find joy when the outcome is what you believed it would be. Or find joy if the outcome is what you hoped it would be. But family, the text does not say that. The text said, find joy when you go through trials of many kinds. So joy and trial Joy and trial. I was introduced to a marvelous work by Brené Brown, and that work is called The Atlas of the Heart. Has anybody read it? The Atlas of the Heart? And while this is a marvelous work, family, it also convicted me. Because in her research, Brené Brown found that when she researched thousands and thousands of people, that they could only name 4 major emotions: happiness, sadness, fear, and anger. Now, I was convicted because this word joy was something that truly I didn't understand. And so I started to look up the word joy, and I started to look at the definition of joy. And here is what I found. Are you ready to hear what I found? Joy is an abiding, can I hear abiding? Abiding happiness when something meaningful happens to you, especially something that impacts your core values and something that impacts your sense of purpose. So I looked back at that definition and I said, have abiding happiness when you go through trial, because something meaningful is about to happen to you. So Dr. Lester, I remember in biology, when we studied it, that the survival of the human species is predicated on the ability of that species to adapt and to evolve in order to survive, to thrive, and reproduce. So maybe I was looking at the wrong thing. Maybe it's not just the trial, but rather who I am becoming in the trial. As you have stayed up on those late nights, as you look at your freshman year self and your senior self, most likely, family, you have adapted and you have evolved because of the trials that you have faced. And as a result, you have met a different version of yourself because of what you have been through, because of the trial. So you might look at somebody next to you and say, this is the last version of me that you will see today, because you might meet another version tomorrow because of the trials that I'll go through today. Find joy when you go through trials of many kinds. There was a man in the 1940s that sat with the Blackfoot Siksika indigenous tribes. And as he studied those tribes, he saw a way of life that intrigued him. And so he went back into his lab and he crunched his numbers and he constructed what he called his pyramid of needs. This man was Abraham Maslow, who said that at the very basis of the human existence is a need for air, food, water, and shelter. Then the next level is the need in any environment for emotional and physical safety. Then he said there is a need for belonging, to have authentic connections in an environment. And Maslow, if he walked in here, would say, if all those things are fulfilled in this environment, you will reach your true potential. So many of you are going to be receiving awards today, and you will celebrate, and we will celebrate you because of the fact that you have reached your potential, a potential in this environment. But upon his death, Maslow actually added a few more needs. He said that the chief calling of a person is not self-actualization, is not reaching your true potential. He added one more to the top, and that is transcendence. Can I hear transcendence? Come on. That means to live for something bigger than yourself. That is the chief calling of a person. So as you receive your awards, we will celebrate you because you have actualized. We will celebrate you because of what you have achieved as part of your potential. But as you come up and receive those awards, I want you to wave it in the air like you just don't care. Because it's actually a signal to all of us that you have been qualified by the trials you have gone through to help somebody that is coming behind you. So pay attention, freshmen, sophomores, and juniors, because those individuals that are gaining awards today might be a signal that they can help you with that speech. They can help you with that math problem. They can help you with that essay, because they are also relying on you to be able to reach their true potential in the environment that they are in. So you might be sitting here and saying, Losambe, I didn't receive an award, or I might not receive an award, but I want you to email Ms. Izokaitis tonight and say, can I have a blank certificate? Because I'm going to print my name on that certificate and have my own honors assembly, because I have been through some trials. I have been through some things, and I know that I want to reach my true potential, and I want to help someone who's coming behind me, because we are a 3-year-old to 12th grade school. I want to mentor, I want to teach, I want to inspire as well. So find abiding happiness when you go through trials of many kinds, because of the fact, voice crack, because of the fact that you are becoming in the trial. You are meeting a different version of yourself in the trial. Find joy when you go through trials of many kinds, because the trial has actually qualified you to be able to live your highest potential in this environment, and that is to give back, to contribute. So find joy when you go through trials of many kinds. Brené Brown would say it like this: find abiding happiness when you go through trials, because something meaningful is about to happen to you, something that is about to impact your core values and your sense of purpose. Congratulations, seniors. Congratulations, Academy. Congratulations to all the award winners. Much love and thank you.